Dear students, let us start the discussion on today's newspaper, that is 16th August 2016. The first article is related to the Maternity Benefit Amendment Bill. You all know that the last week the Ministry of Labour wanted to amend the maternity benefits to the women. So it raised the maternity leaves from 12 weeks to 26 weeks. And added to that, any organization that has more than 50 employees, it has to maintain a crutchy. And these maternity benefits are also available up to 12 weeks for the commissioning mothers and the woman who has adopted children, and if the child age is less than 3 months. So in this scenario, a commissioning mother, it means a mother who donates her egg for an artificial or for other women for conception. So that's what is called a commissioning mother. So in this scenario, what is the criticism about the bill? Now the bill do not talk about paternity leave. It means the gender stereotyping and fixed role for the genders is ingredient or inside to this bill. So the child rearing is a shared responsibility of mother and father, and it is a social function, and the bill sees it as a responsibility confined to the mothers alone. Now the second thing is employers, they have to maintain a crutchy, and they have to provide maternity leave, and also they have to make arrangements for working from home, etc. in accordance to this bill. It means employers feel it is a burden to have the women employees in the organization, and in those circumstances, the gap in employment might increase. And according to the existing rules, the total number of days of maternity leave granted for mothers who adopt a child is 135 days. And there are no timelines prescribed for this. But the new bill reduces it to 12 weeks with a prescribed timeline based on the age of the child, that is, he shall be less than 3 months. So, and again, the adoption benefits are given only to the mothers. But how about single fathers and transgenders who want to adopt a child? So these are the various weaknesses of the bill. Coming to the Islamic State. Islamic State has lost an important city that is logistically important for it, called Manbij in Syria. Now there are few important points over here. Already it has lost Palmyra, Koban. So these are the important logistical cities that connect Syria to the Turkey. And Turkey also started acting tough against Islamic State after a series of bomb blasts in Turkey. And second, in the occupation of this state, the Kurdish forces and also the Arab rebel forces of Syria, Syrian Democratic Army, all they have functioned together, and United States has provided for the air cover. So if you take, Arab fighters are Sunnis, and they fought along with the Kurds as against the Islamic State. It means the sectarian narration, that is, which the Islamic State is trying to project where, so they're trying to, fight against the Shiites is being done away with. And US are moving away from the Turkey's interests, are moving away from the Turkey's challenges. It has tried to provide for the air cover to the Kurdish fighters. That is a positive development. On the other hand, in Iraq also, Islamic State is facing its challenges. So in these circumstances, so this coordination need to be continued. Now coming to M.K. Narayan articles, what is the impact of Brexit? So in this, what it is said is, the Brexit impact is not just economical, but also it is geopolitical. Now, the Brexit has diminished both Europe and Britain. So European Union as a major force or a pole towards the global dialogue is going to weaken because of this. And again, now Germany and its stake or share in total GDP of the EU is going to raise to 1/4 from 1/5. So in this scenario, the Germany and France, so the France may not be able to accept the dominance of the Germany in European Union. Already the right-wing parties head by Maria Le Pen, they are talking about the Germans' dominance in the European Union. Coming to NATO, the important ally in European Union is UK. In those circumstances, US influence on the NATO may decrease. Coming to Russia, Russia's major opponent in the EU was UK. So in this case, once after this, the sanctions of EU on Russia may come down and this relation may get consolidated. And finally, if you see the France and Ireland, they are eyeing for the financial sector shift from London. So in these cases, the negotiation is going to become, the exit negotiation is going to become much troublesome. These are the issues. Now finding the right measure. So now see, many a times the state expenditure, it goes into strengthening of the social divisions. If you take about building the cremating houses, the cremation houses are built separate for the community, separate for the caste, etc. So upper caste cremation houses or caste based cremation houses cannot be used by other castes. So in those circumstances, it is strengthening the social divides which are existing in the country. But these cremation grounds are being built with the public money. So that is going against to the aims of our constitutional aspirations. So every expenditure made by the state shall be indicated and evaluated on the social progressiveness. Now coming to another article, you all know that recently there is a violence in Una in Gujarat. So in this case, an possession has occurred. So in this possession, what is being demanded by the Dalits is justice, not the revenge. So in this case, the country has to keep an opinion or keep providing for the opportunities for the Dalits to continue this bloodless revolution. So the Dalit Asmita Yatra, it has shown a new light with regard to the nature of accommodation between different interests in the country. So what we shall do? Provide the educational opportunities, employment opportunities. At the same time, land. Land is not just a source of income. It is more a source of a social status. So distribution of the land for the Dalits and land reforms will improve their status. So in this context, what we can say is, so the Dalit empowerment, that is a sense of social justice shall prevail along with the economic growth. Then only the country can collectively prosper. India cannot be rich with the Indians being poor. India cannot be independent with Indians lacking the necessary liberty. Now, India, with regard to Sukhoi 30, a deal is almost closed with its upgradation with Russia because many of the fighter jets which we are in discussion are getting delayed. India and Russia have a joint agreement for fifth generation fighter jet, but it is not moving forward. And already India made an agreement to buy the Rafale aircrafts, the Rafale jets from France, but it is also not moving forward. And India is self-developing light combat aircraft. Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, it is also not moving forward. So India wants to upgrade in the meantime. It's Sukhoi 30 and agreement is almost all the way. Now, Doctors Without Borders, an NGO, so it is trying to object the strengthening RLs, the trade-related intellectual property rights. So in this case, if you see Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, the China, Japan, South Korea, these are all demanding for a stringent intellectual property right regime. So obviously when the stringent intellectual property right regime with data exclusivity, that is where the research information is not shared, comes up, obviously the generic drugs are going to go down. So it means the pharmaceutical costs are going to increase, which will impact providing for the healthcare services which the Doctors Without Borders are providing for. That's why they are opposing to the same. And Prime Minister Modi and his address to the nation on Independence Day, he has raised the issue of POK and the Balochistan, Gilgit-Baltistan areas. Now, the Karakoram highway goes through the Gilgit-Baltistan and it is being built by China. Along with that, there is a lot of human rights violations in POK. And in Balochistan, there are human rights violations and also there is an independence movement or a freedom movement which is going on. Because Balochistan says that their views of living are entirely different from Pakistan. Pakistan is an Islamic state, but Balochis they want an secular and independent nation for themselves. So now, Pakistan has glorified Mr. Wani as a martyr, and Pakistan is trying to poke its nose in the Kashmir. So in this case, Pakistan keeps Kashmir as a precondition for any talks. Then what India is talking about, if talks on Kashmir has to continue, it has to include Pak-occupied Kashmir. So it means India is trying to create a pressure point by opening the POK and Balochistan. So this is an important part of his speeches today. So these are the articles for today. Thank you very much.